Hey everybody, yes, I'm back. And little bit of a difference this time. I've got a tape update. Um about I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, whatever it was, I can't remember when. Um I went into one of my usual haunts to look for CDs. They tend to sell CDs. They've stopped stocking vinyl, one of the charity shops. But they used to have loads of tapes and they've disappeared and then they came back again. And they're back. I don't know how long that'll last. But I managed to pick up a stack of tapes for 20p each. So this little lot of music cost me £2. What a bargain, really. I've played all of them. There's no tiniest little bit of wow and flutter at the beginning of some of the tapes, but that may be because the spools were loose, maybe. Um, who knows? But they sound absolutely fine on my stereo. So like, here we go, 10 albums for £2. Right. So I'm going to go through these. These are in chronological order because I thought that was just about the best way of doing it. We range from the early 70s to the 90s. 90s tapes. Before I get into this, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the same for other people, but I find it really hard to find tapes. Um, it seems that shops don't buy them, but I thought that millions of the things were sold in the UK and all over the place. And it seems to be really difficult maybe it's just a southwest of England thing, but really difficult to get hold of them. I find them at car boot sales because people just turf out any old tat car boots. But I would have thought that charity shops would have loads of them. But there's very rare that I see any. So when I do see them, I tend to like go, "Ooh, yes," because they're usually dead cheap. So anyway, what have we got? The first one. So we've got Stateless Quo, one of my faves. This is 100 minutes of Status Quo, so it's actually a really long tape. It's 50 minutes aside, and the condition is still really good. This is a compilation of their first 4 albums, so it includes tracks from the two kind of psychedelic albums they did, Matchstick Men or whatever that's called, and the one after that, which I can't remember the name. And then then it's also got, is it tracks off of Mark Kelly's Greasy Spoon and Dog of Two Heads, I think. I think they're the first 4. I think that's where they come from anyway. Let me just, there's very little information apart from a track list on here. But I'm pretty sure that's the 4 albums that were originally released on Pi before they switched to Vertigo. So, and it's really, I don't have any of those albums, and now I'm definitely going to be looking for them. I was always looking for Dog of Two Heads anyway, but I thought the other ones, but the quality of these tracks are really good. So yeah, a big yeah for this one. Right, stunning album next. I'm not sure when it was produced. I don't think it's an original. No, it won't be because it hasn't got paper covers. But it's Janis Joplin's Pearl. I've got this on CD. Don't have it on vinyl, which is a bit strange. I think the only vinyl I've got is some Big Brother stuff. But this is a brilliant album. Absolutely fantastic. Originally released just after she died. This was a posthumous release. And I think there's one track on here, and I can't remember which one it is now. I think is it Half Moon or Buried Alive in the... No, Half Moon, Buried Alive in the Blues. One of them that she was meant to add... There's an instrumental, and she was meant to add vocals the day after she passed on. So they put it on there just as a kind of tribute to her. But there's some absolutely unbelievable performances on this album. Get It While You Can. Just... I think she is one of my favourite vocalists of all time. Just the rawness of her voice. I mean, it must have been all that Southern Comfort she piled away, or the rest of the stuff that she did. But the rawness of her vocal. I remember one time when I was at uni, I had a tape copy of her greatest hits, and I was listening to it, and somebody wandered in, and they were just saying, "Is that a black woman singing?" I said, "No, it's Janis Joplin. Never heard of her." And it just shows how good her vocals were. So yeah, so you've also got, I mean, Cry Baby. It's got Mercedes-Benz on here. It's got Bobby McGee. My Baby, Move Over. I mean, it is just, from start to finish, a stellar performance. And who knows where she would have gone on from here. We were robbed of a lot of good music, I think. Right. Next one. 1975? 76, somewhere around there. And I think this is it's half of an original album anyway. Because it's got a paper cover. It tends to be the paper cover ones are the older ones. So this is half of Wings Over America, which probably should have been like that. Is that how? Yeah, probably. I knew it was half when I bought it, but I thought, right, 20p, I'm going to buy this anyway. Who knows? I might stumble across part 2 eventually. But this is a good... I really enjoyed listening to this. I thought this was a good performance. Pretty heavy on stuff that... on Band on the Run. It's got Jet, Let Me Roll It. Cassa's Last Words. Bluebird. But it's also got a lot of Beatles songs on it, like Lady Madonna... Just Seen a Face, Blackbird, and it's got possibly my would it be my favourite Macca song? Maybe I'm Amazed. I do love that song. I think that's a terrific song, absolutely cracking song. There you go. Right, from when was this? Right, moving into the 80s. 1980, I picked up Cheap Trick, All Shook Up. Another great album. Brilliant power pop. Absolutely brilliant. I have got a very small amount of Cheap Trick in my collection. No vinyl. I think I've got 1 CD and 1 tape now. And I was so stoked to pick this up. It's a really good album. I'm trying to think. I've only listened to it once. Other people will know Cheap Trick much better than me. I didn't get into them in the 80s, but I wish I had done, because that is brilliant. Absolutely magnificent stuff. Right, we head off into pop territory for the next 3. Pure 80s pop. Best represented by this. I picked up a copy of this. Wham, fantastic. I remember at the time hating Wham. I really, really did. I thought they were juvenile crud. But I guess time kind of softens your memories a bit. And, alright, it's not my favourite stuff from the early 80s. I mean, Duran were just head and shoulders the best pop band out around at that point over everybody else. But it's got enough decent tracks on here. It's a bit of a memory trip, to be honest, that one. There you go, Wham, fantastic. This is a good one. So this is Thompson Twins. I think this is 83 now. Thompson Twins, Quick Step and Sidekick. So this is... Thompson Twins were originally, I think, 7-piece band? Might even... There were a lot of members anyway. And they weren't getting anywhere until eventually they just split up, and then what's his name? What are the names? Alana Curry and Tom Bailey and Joe Leeway reformed the Thompson Twins as a 3-piece, and they had some hits on here. Now the hits were Love on Your Side was a hit. We Are Detective. There was another one as well, wasn't there? Was there one off this one? Well, no, they were the two big singles off this one. They had more hits on the next album. And I think it was Steve Whitty who played his vinyl copy of this and said, We Are Detective still sounds terrible. I really like it. I think it's quite good, actually. What's nice about this one is I don't know whether you can see that, but it's actually a double tape. So on one side you've got the original album, and then on side 2 you've actually got a load of remixes, extended remixes. So you've got 6 tracks there, which is a nice bonus to have, actually, because they probably did get a CD release or something, but that's quite nice to have. Guy that I've been buying a couple of bits and pieces of, because I think he went off the boil very quickly, but I think this is quite underrated. This is, can you see that? Oh, there we go. There's a lot of glare off that because of the whiteness. But it's Humans Live by Howard Jones. He had a massive hit with New Song. Was it New Song? Yeah, New Song. Throwing Off Your Mental Chains. With a Silly Dancer. I think this is actually a really good pop album. Lot of singles off it. What Is Love, Pearl Michelle, Hide and Seek, New Song. And yeah, they're the standout tracks, but the rest of it does hold up as well. Conditioning's a good track. And I remember listening to my sister's copy of this, and I nicked it every so often because I actually quite liked it. So to actually have a vinyl copy, I've been looking for this on vinyl, but every copy I seem to have seems to be scratched to pieces, or every copy I seem to see seems to be scratched to pieces, or there's something wrong with it, or it's too expensive. I'm not paying a high price for it. So to get this for 20p will do me just fine at the moment. Stellar. This I'm so happy I found this one. This is Roy Orbison's Mystery Girl. What an album. To my shame, I had not listened to the whole album before I got this, and it is amazing. I've got to find a vinyl copy now. This is what's fun about buying tapes, because you get them dirt cheap. You just try things out, and because you've only spent 20p on it, you can go looking for if you want it on vinyl or whatever your format of choice. This is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I didn't realise that this comeback album was as good as it is. An album that I sadly overlooked back in 89 when it came out. I remember what was the single off it? Was it She's a Mystery to Me? Is that the U2 written one? Oh, You Got It. That's it. That was the hit, wasn't it? And I remember hearing that and quite liking it, but it didn't really, it didn't make me want to go out and buy it, but I wish I'd heard it, because this is marvellous stuff. Absolutely marvellous. Just brilliant performances. I think James Griffiths probably would do this far better than I would, especially after his brilliant Roy Orbison videos that he did on original 60s stuff. But where's the George Harrison's on it, Bono's on it, probably Tom Petty's on it, Howie Epstein. Where's it? Production. Oh, somebody tell me who produced the ruddy thing. Cannot see art direction. I can see everything except a producer. Well, recorders, executive producer, production consultant, management. Why is there no... Anyway, I'm sure it's a Joplin production. It must be. Especially after the Wilburys. So anyway, if you ever see a copy of this, on whatever format you can get it on, get it. Because that is a stunning, stunning album. Right. 2 more from the 90s now. I didn't think I'd ever find tapes from the 90s. This is great. So I'm sure I've got this on CD, I think. No, I don't have it on vinyl. I've got the first one. This is Shakespeare's Sister. And this is Hormonally Yours. This is the one with Stay on it, which was a huge hit in the UK. #1 for 8 weeks or something. It was massive. This is great. I think this is a really, really good adult pop album. It's got I Don't Care on it, which is a laugh. It's got some really good Catwoman, Moonchild, Hello, Turn Your Radio On. It is just really good. And it's, to be honest, anything with Siobhan on it from Bananarama is worth listening to. I mean, I think they're one of the most underrated bands from the 80s, Bananarama. Especially the stuff before Siobhan left. Well, before the Stockache and Waterman stuff. Before they got their greasy mitts on them. But the first few albums, 2 or 3 albums, I think, that they did by themselves, well, forcing record company hand and stuff, are stunning. I think they're brilliant. Robert De Niro's Waiting is an underrated classic of a song. And Stay, I think, is a magnificent song. I'm using magnificent a lot today. Word of the day, obviously. Great stuff. And then to round it off is a tape from 97. Unbelievable. It's Sleeper, Smart. We got Britpop on tape. I was chuffed to see this one. This is their first album. Sleeper weren't the greatest of the Britpop bands, and I loved Britpop. I know it's gone through a real downturn in reputation for the last, say, 5-10 years. But I think it's about time for a reappraisal, because there were a lot of good records from there. Yes, they built on a lot of British bands like the Kinks and the Small Faces, and sort of Bits of Madness, and it was an amalgamation of British music from the 60s on. But it produced some great songs. A lot of really, really good songs. And one of them is In Betweener by Sleeper, which is on here. To be honest, this album's a little bit anonymous at times. Sleeper were best as a singles band, I think. So In Betweener, What Do I Do Now? What was their other one? They had some other hits as well, but I'm stoked to pick that up for 20p. Lovely stuff. Right, so there we go. A little tape update that I've been meaning to do for a while. I'm going to go and play Sleeper actually now. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know my tape videos don't get as many views. I don't care. I just chuck them out there anyway. But if you did enjoy this, then leave a comment. And if you found anything interesting, leave a comment. If you didn't, leave a comment. Okay, cheers everybody. And I'll see you all again soon with yet another video. Cheers VC. Well, not VC. Cheers everybody. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.